Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Richardson, and I'm the WCPW review guy, and alright, back. Sorry, we're back on. You need to clean your shit up, Johnson, alright? Get your act together. I don't give a damn what happened. Get shit fixed up. Alright, sorry about that. And we're back. And this is a WCPW Loaded Episode 14 review. Let me say right now from top of the show was great. Seriously, every match did its job. It was all good, no complaints whatsoever. In fact, trying to come up with my least favorite match was actually a chore this week. And that you know, past few weeks it hadn't been that much of a chore. It's been pretty easy to be like, hey, that match right there. But right now, none of that shit. So let's get into it. At the top of the hour, Pachiti goes ahead and tells us that he's announced that 2 matches for True Legacy. We got Cody Rhodes against Kurt Angle, and we got Joe Hendry against Joseph Connors. Now Connors, of course, currently the WCPW champion, and of course on tonight's Loaded, he was going to take on Cody Rhodes, or he wasn't going to. He did take on Cody Rhodes, but title's on the line, so whichever way that title went would determine what matches were going to be a title match at True Legacy. Could it be Cody Rhodes versus Angle for a title? Could it be Connors versus Hendry? So, and it's one of those things where, like, you knew right off the bat, and nothing against Cody Rhodes because he's a hell of a wrestler, but it's like, we're not giving the title away to some big-time part-timer. Just saying. But, it adds a little bit to the mix here. Makes the title look better, too, so. Alright, so let's get things started. Right now it's Kimberly versus Little Miss Roxy. Now, of course, last week you'll remember Kimberly went ahead and attacked Little Miss Roxy backstage. Just a vicious beatdown. This does kind of tie into Nixon Newell, which, I guess, you kind of have to. The women's division is so small right now. But I was kind of glad, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air to see the women's division, not necessarily, because it seems like all the women's division has been so far is just Nixon Newell fighting whoever. And it makes sense because she's a women's champion. I get that, and of course, with a roster this small, what else can you do? But it's kind of nice to see it kind of branch off and do other things, at least temporarily. But yeah, Kimberly went in there and just dominated Little Miss Roxy. I think she hit like 5 or 6 German suplexes and then a powerbomb, and it was over. I was shocked because I don't watch the streaming thing. I watched when they do the individual segments on YouTube. So I was, I wasn't really watching the time or anything, but I knew the video had like 9 minutes in it, and we're only like 5 into it. So I was just like, holy shit, did not see that come out of there. So yeah, Kimberly with a very impressive victory. And you know what? This match, it was short, but it was good. It was way better than the Refuse to Lose woman style match between Kimberly and Nixon Newell. So I'm kind of leery about their rematch coming up, which I'll get to later. But yeah, so it was just kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, it was a squash match essentially, but both ladies put on a hell of a showing. It looked good. It looked amazing. Little Miss Roxy was selling the German suplexes. Something that they don't do anymore in WCPW. Like, you get German suplex, you just get up and brush it off like, it didn't fucking hurt. So I was glad to see that she actually sold it properly. So yeah, and then after the match, Kimber goes outside, grabs a chair, and starts tearing into about to tear into Miss Roxy, and then of course Nixon comes out, tries to intervene, however she gets the chair instead. So there it is, right there. We get a little segment backstage with PrinceAmeen and Gabriel Kidd. And kind of a cool segment because, if you look at it from like a kayfabe, standpoint, Kidd's stuck. He's stuck in this situation, so he's doing his best to try to be like, hey, let's make this work, and he's trying to talk PrinceAmeen into letting him, join the tag tournament, the Abachiti Tag Team Tournament, Tag Title Tournament. I don't know, it's something like that. The AP Triple T, as he calls it, which is just kind of like a no-brainer because it's like, there isn't that many tag teams anyways, and this is a fucking 8-team tournament. So guess what? If you even had tag team or even know the word tag team, you're automatically in because shit, they need you. But nice little something right there. But of course, PrinceAmeen, being the dick he is like, I'll consider it, but go ahead and give me a back massage. It's just great. Up next, it's Travis Banks against Martin Kirby. Out there right now, as hard as it was to pick my least favorite match, it was also hard to pick my favorite match. It was really down to two, the main event and this one, and I gotta go with this one. I think I enjoyed it a lot more am I playing favorites because it's Martin Kirby? Probably, but very enjoyable match. Travis Banks trying to hit the Zoidberg elbow was just great. Just the match itself in general, just good all around. I mean, great showing. You know, in the end, you know, Kirby wins. Sable Bomb wins it, and you got to because I have nothing against Travis Banks. I respect every wrestler gets in the ring. Just so you know, like his character just like it's like he's a jobber. They need to quit jobbing Pete Dunne out and just keep putting Travis Banks in the Pete Dunne spot. Damn it. So anyways, yeah. So yeah, Martin Kirby wins. Match of the night. I loved everything about it. It was just really good. Yeah, not much you can say about that. We got a little backstage segment. It's so bad, but it's funny. El Garrow's coming to the ringside, or he's walking backstage. He has the internet title on his shoulder, and Pachi stops him. And he doesn't, like, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, I hate to see him just go complete heel because, like, I always hate that in, like, in the major leagues, WWF, whatever, where, somebody would be like, I was a good guy, but now I'm a bad guy, but now I'm a bad guy in every aspect of the word. It's like, you can be a person. I can do something to piss a lot of people off, and I'm considered a bad guy to those guys, but I'm not going to change who But like Pachi did just go full heel, or at least he's going that way. But he stops Garrow, but then of course instead of just stopping McCanny and talk to you, he stops him and then continues his text because he's a dick. And anyways, he tells him like we need tag teams for this tournament. And PrinceAmeen and Gabriel Kidd, they're wanting a warm up match before they actually get in the tournament. If of course they are, but if they get in the tournament, they want a warm up match first. So I'm pairing you with El Desperado. Because Lucha things. Dude, I laughed like I was almost in tears. Like I was like, that is fucking. I mean, it's racist, but it's hilarious. Because I was expecting him to say something kind of like that, like since both your first names is L, we're putting you guys together. But he's just like, Lucha things. Hilarious. So, anyways, match signed for later tonight. Ameen and Kidd going up against El Desperado and El Garrow. So. Now, the only thing that, if I'm just on nitpick, because I am the WCPW review guy, so that's what you guys are watching for, is me to nitpick certain things. He's won the title. I know they had they re-aired him winning the title on an episode Loaded, but it's like, you haven't defended that shit at all. Like, I was expecting this guy to be, because, El Garrow, like, outside WCPW, is wrestling like 2-3 times a day, every day. I guess that's all this dude does. He rolls out of bed and just like drops an elbow on somebody. I mean, that's just like, that's how much this dude's wrestling. Non-stop. And then since he's won the title, no title defenses with that internet title at all. And I was like, what? And then they're like, well, you know what we're going to do with him this week? We're going to put him in a tag match. Like, what? Alright. But anyways, but once again, complaining that he's wrestling at all, that's ridiculous because, El Garrow puts on, excellent epic matches almost every time he's out there. So, it's a minor complaint, it's a minor nitpick, but still I'm just like, isn't he the internet champion? Like, shouldn't he be doing that right now? But I guess we'll put him in a tag match, that makes no sense. But whatever, it's funny because we got the line, because, Lucha things. Up next, we got Primate versus Rampage. Now, let's tell you right now, once again, not a knock on this match, because this match was actually really enjoyable, also short, but this will get my least favorite just because not only was it short, it also just didn't have a conclusion, but that's not a knock on this match because it was enjoyable and it pushed the storyline further. And this is, it's excellent. The Primate comes out and here comes Rampage. Rampage, like I said, it's funny with him because, I'm glad he's a face now. I was never buying him as a heel. 1 week, the first week of WCPW, I was like, this dude's a monster heel, he's going to be awesome. And after that, I was like, did you say a monster heel at all? He's just some jacked up dude who keeps losing for some reason. And his last victory was over Adam Blampier. So, it's just like, But Primate's the opposite, where I'm like, this is a monster heel, but he can't win. Like, he should be just dominating everybody, but it's just like, he'll dominate smaller people, but as soon as he gets into a big profile match, he just keeps dropping the ball. But, dude, just tearing each other. Just power fucking... It's like Godzilla versus King Kong. That's what I tweeted last night. And it was. It was just, two big dudes beating the shit out of each other. Action goes to the outside, and then when the referee tries to get him back in, Primate just spears the referee on the outside. And then, of course, more referees come in, more security guard, and then, of course, when the second referee comes down, he just throws the match out. Which I thought was kind of weird, because I was like, you know, Rampage technically didn't do anything. Like, Rampage was just fighting the match. Like, he did not do an illegal thing at all. I mean, they do attack security and refs later on, but it's like, when they threw the match out, at that point, Rampage didn't do nothing. Primate should just be disqualified, but it is what it is. So no contest on this match, which is probably why I got my least favorite, because it was just kind of one of those head scratching, like, I guess. But once again, this is going to build up to probably a street fight or a cage match, or, you know, a bloodbath match, or, you know, a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, or a Raven's Perch match, or a Chamber of Horrors match, or a Judy Bagwell on a pole match. I don't know. It's going to end up doing something crazy. Anyway, so yeah, it ends like there, and of course they just beat the shit out of. Dude, Primate throws like one security guard out, and it was scary looking. Like, or no, it wasn't Primate, it was Rampage. Just fucking launched the dude. Like, poor jobber kid just flew. I mean, he killed him. Like, literally. Like, even the commentator was like, holy shit. Like, let's just stop talking about what's, you know, what this is building to. Let's talk about that poor guy just got tossed down on his fucking face. But of course, as they're being separated, Prospect comes out, and you know they go ahead and get you know, Primate. And of course, we'll remember back to last week when James R. Kennedy was talking about, you know, he's, you know, challenged Rampage to a elimination match at True Legacy. 4 against 4, he has to find 3 people. Well, I'm guessing Prospect just found their 4th member, Primate. What a member it is. So yeah, and then of course on the other side of that, as security and refs were out there trying to separate these guys, Gabriel Kidd was out there. Because he was, and he was getting ready. And of course, Rampage, like, you know, this is not a knock against Gabriel Kidd, but like he was smaller than some of the security guards, and I'm just like, how did Rampage not just flip out on him? Like, he literally, like, Rampage just hit anything that moved, and then somehow Gabriel Kidd was like, hey, I'm Gabriel Kidd. You could crush me right now if you wanted to, but yeah, why would you do that? I'm a good guy too. And then that's how it was. So the end of the segment ended with, or in the match, or whatever you want to call it, ended with, you know, Rampage and Gabriel Kidd in the ring, and then of course Prospect out there. So I'm just wondering now, Gabriel Kidd naturally will probably, you know, join Rampage team. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. Up next, we get a tag match, Ameen and Kidd going up against El Desperado and El Garrow. And this is kind of an interesting thing, because, and this is something they mentioned on the commentary, because, you know, obviously, you know, Kidd and Ameen, they're legit tag team, but obviously it's a servant master relationship, and of course it's a good guy bad guy teaming up. And but we also get on the other side a good guy and bad guy teaming up as well, because, you know, last time, the only time we ever saw El Desperado in WCPW was at Refuse to Lose, where he was, you know, sucker punching the shit out of Joe Coffey during his match. So yeah, it was just kind of an interesting little pairing right there. The match itself, really good. In fact, you know, and I'm a big El Garrow fan, and I just don't like, you know, once again, just the character. Just a character. I don't care for PrinceAmeen. I'm just like, fuck this guy. I love his segments with him and Kidd, though. I'm loving this. Like, I'm glad. Like, this is why I couldn't be a writer or a booker, because I would have just, like, ended this, like, months ago. Just like, well, gotta end this thing. Like, the fact that they're stretching it out this long, it's worked. Like, it does not feel stale yet. And the key is they're just little tiny segments every week, but it's just, they're fucking hilarious. Anyway, so PrinceAmeen and Gabriel Kidd, they put on a hell of a showing. Like, really impressive. And of course, the whole time, El Desperado's outside. He's spraying the fans with water and energy drinks. However, whenever it's time to break up pins, he does it. Like, he'll jump in there, and he does break bad here and there. And I mean, he looks impressive too. I want to see him in an actual, like, singles match, I guess. Like, I want to see that. I'm kind of hoping like this would lead to him and Garrow maybe butting heads and then having a match. I think that'd be a damn good match right there, because, you know, Lucha things. And however, the match almost ends. Dude, PrinceAmeen hits Garrow with the pedigree, and dude, like, down. And I was just like, holy shit. And then for a minute, because I am just not a PrinceAmeen fan, I was like, yes, they're going to win like a legitimate match. Because, you know, let's face it, Ameen and Kidd, for all sense and, you know, for all intent and purposes, are jobbers pretty much. Like, they go out there to just lose. Kidd has not won a single match. Not one. One match yet since the entire run of WCPW. PrinceAmeen has won one, and that was over Gabriel Kidd to make him a servant. That's it. These guys have not won dick since they've, you know, they've been here. So I was like, holy shit, they're gonna get there tonight. And of course, you know, not to be fucking El Desperado breaks that shit up, and Either way, they pick up the win. El Garrow picks up the win, and boom, that's it. Match over. And of course, Desperado just leaves Garrow in the ring. There's no celebration like that. So yeah, damn good match though. Like I said, it was a little chaotic at times, but overall, just damn good. So kind of curious to see where this goes, or if they'll, if either people will be in the tag tournament, because after this they show the brackets, this Adam Pacitti tag title tournament, and of course we've already had Prospect and Los Perspectiva, and match is already over. And then of course they announced that at True Legacy it will be Mustache Mountain against Slater and Moss, but then of course there are 4 spots still open. Presumably Ameen and Kid will get one, maybe Garrow and El Desperado, since they obviously they won this match right here. And then of course there's 2 more spots open, and of course that's one thing that's kind of weird, because and I'm not against it, because I'm glad, because the world title, the internet title, and the women's title was all like just thrown out there in a random match. They're like, here, fight for that. Now, of course, the women's champion was understandable, and they all have a different reason. I mean, I get it. The storyline-wise, it did make sense, but like I'm a traditionalist, I guess. Like I would love to see a new title be minted in like a tournament. You know what I mean? Like, let's do the tournament. Let's do something like that. But we had no tournaments. Like, there was no qualifying matches per se. Even though, of course, I guess the lead up to the world title, there were like Joe Hendry battling both of them to get a spot, and he didn't get either one of them. But for the most part, like I said, it was just like there's no tournament, there's a match, there's your title, do it. So I was glad they didn't do a tournament this time around. However, the fact that it was like an 8-team tournament, I was like, there's not even 8 teams in the WCPW. Like, what the fuck? Are they going to dust off Mercer and Myers and bring them back? Where had the Mercer Myers? They were a one-time job team that lost a Prospect. So I mean, you fuck with Prospect, you just get killed. You just get. As El Draco and fucking Lucas or Lucha Archer, they didn't make it. They got slaughtered last week, and El Gracie or whatever the fuck his name was. So anyways, yeah, that was that. And then of course we go to our main event. Of course, Joe Hendry is a special guest commentator this week, and yeah, we got Cody Rhodes, and of course he has like his own personal ring announcer now. What the fuck is this? Kenny McIntosh down there, and then they went up against Joseph. Well, they didn't go up against when the handicap match. Cody Rhodes went up against Joseph Connors. WCPW title on the line. This match was awesome. Damn, guys, this was a toss-up. It really was between this and the Kirby Banks match earlier. Just a hell of a match. Really good pace starting off. And I like, once again, I'm noticing with all these guys that are coming over, your ex-WWE guys, I'll just say, it's like they haven't done the indie yet much at the time, so like they're having fun just interacting with the fan, because that's something you don't really get to do when you're at WWE. Just like you have in the ring, it's all business. So like I just noticed like when you got like Patron and Aaron Stevens, it was like they were hey crowd, I'm interacting with the crowd more than actually paying attention to my opponent in the ring. This is a match. It's come on, kayfabe guys, you're fighting under. I like if like you show up in UFC and you're like, I'm not gonna fight this shit. Crowd, yay! I'm gonna play with them for a little bit. And that's how it started off. However, as the match went on, dude, it was like that shit was out the window, dude. And Cody Rhodes had to bring it. Damn good match. The only thing that was kind of weird was, so we got Hendry at ringside commentator, and Connors like shoves Cody Rhodes into Hendry. Now, it just seems like, would he not clearly have seen, because he's watching it, that it was an accident? Like, literally, Connor's the one that shoved Rhodes into you, but like, then they get into it. Yeah, it was just like, Hendry, really? Like, that's what, you saw Connors do this, but he like turns, Rhodes around like, hey, you got shoved into me and I got problems with you now. It's like, alright, and then of course Rhodes like, hey, fuck off, and then they get in a little shoving thing, and then, it is what it is, and boom. Rhodes goes in there, and he clocks Connors with his old face mask, but apparently the referee didn't see that one, which I think is bullshit, but whatever. And he goes to put it on, but then of course the referee takes it away. Rhodes ends up rolling up Connors, gets out of it, and then Connors returns the favor, rolls up Rhodes, holds the tights, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, Joseph Connor retains the title, which meant True Legacy, Cody Rhodes versus Angle, regular singles match, and Joe Hendry versus Joseph Connors, title match. The thing also that was very odd, and I'm not going to knock him too much, because, prior to Refuse to Lose, the commentators were in a booth somewhere, and it was okay. It was like, they read what they were supposed to, or said what they were supposed to. It was in order. But here, and I should mention this back at the tag match, it was like the commentating was out of order. Like, they actually did film it there, but then of course you can tell right off the bat. Now, we all know at home that, this is all filmed like in the span of like a day or two. So, loaded's all together, and then they break it up into segments, which, it's what you do. I get that. I understand that. At the same time, it's like, you got to talk to your tag team, your commentating team, because, my God, during the Ameen Kid match, or the Ameen Kids versus the Luchas, they kept talking about how, like, well, Prospect's going to face Los Perspectivas later on tonight, and it's like, wait, what? That was last week. And the same thing here. It seemed like during this big match, like, Hendry didn't realize he was wrestling Connors at True Legacy. He was just kept going like, well, you don't want to face one of these guys for the title. It's like, well, dude, they already said you're fighting, Joseph Connors at True Legacy. It's it's whether or not the title will be on the line or not. That's what this match is going to determine. So, and once again, I'm not going to bust too much balls on that because I get it. But at the same time, it is an issue that you guys need to address. And that's that's the other thing. And once again, this is just me nitpicking, but it is kind of like I want to believe that this is happening every week. Like I want to be like, nope, this is every week. They're all showing up in Newcastle to battle it out and all this other stuff. But the fact that every time there's a guy out there, he's like, last night, it's like, dude, you didn't fight him last night. You fought him 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, shit, long time ago. What? It is what it is. I do think it's funny, though. I'll peruse because I did it myself. All this kind of like, what do you mean last night? In the comments section underneath the video, and everybody will be like, dude, they film it all at once, right? Yeah, I know they film it all at once. It's a joke. Now, those other people do that, too. They'll be like, last night, and everybody's like, hey, it's all filmed together. We get it, guys. Calm down. Just take it down a notch. Yeah. And then, of course, after the event's over, we get a little promo for True Legacy where they go through the matches that we've talked about, and then they threw a couple more in there. Women's title on the line. Nixon Newell will take on Kimberly in a street fight. God help us. I just hope this is good. I'm pulling for them. You don't understand. I know it sounds like I'm just being a dick and making fun of it each week, but it's like, I'm a champion for this women's division. I want it to keep going. Make us proud. And tonight's women's match was great, but man, the last time Nixon Newell and Kimberly stepped in the ring, it was a fucking train wreck. I'm sorry, it was. And now we're going at street fights. It's like, dude, you guys need to focus on a regular match first. You guys didn't even master that. This was sloppy and ridiculous. So, but we'll wait and see. Because once again, they're both capable of putting on great matches. Just not together. So we'll have to wait and see. And then the interim title will be on the line. El Garrow will face Pete Dunne. God damn it. Okay, I don't want Ligero to lose the title. I don't. In fact, I want this dude to be like the fighting champion. I want him to fight every week. Like, he wrestles 4 times a day anyways. Like, go ahead and let him wrestle every loaded. That's like twice a day. If load takes place in the span of 2 days, and they break each day up in half, and there's your month's worth of loaded, he can wrestle twice. He wrestled 4 times in 2 days. That's a vacation for him. That's a vacation for him. I want to see Ligero fight every day and defend that strap. But don't beat Pete Dunne. Oh my God. Pete Dunne he's another one who's not won a match yet. And that's bullshit. Like, Ameen, I can understand. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's nothing against Ameen, but let's face it, he's not popular. And his style's very, it's traditional. It's too also. Dude, like, there's something special about Pete Dunne. I look at Pete Dunne, I'm like, dude, this guy. Like, there's something about this guy. Win a match. Damn it. And it's like every time he's in there with somebody, I'm just like, shit, he ain't going over that guy. It was like when he fought Hendry last week. I was like, well, he ain't beating Hendry. There's no way Pete Dunne's going to beat Hendry. He fought like Kirby before that. It's like, he ain't beating Kirby. Kirby's being pushed to the moon right now. He go up against Ligero, who just won the Internet Champ. He ain't going to beat Ligero. So it just seems like they keep it's like, he's don't like fight Kurt Angle. It's like, he ain't going to beat him. You know what I'm saying? He's not really fighting. I'm just saying, they would do that. They would throw him in there against somebody there's no way in hell he's going to win. Damn it. I want Pete Dunne to win. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so that's that. Now, also they announced that True Legacy is going to be, if you got the What Culture Extra, it will be shown on What Culture Extra. Like, it'll be in its full entirety. However, if you don't, they're going to break it in half. Part 1 will air next week, and then Part 2 will air after that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm watching it on. Watching it on Friday night when it comes on, and I'm gonna do my review in its entirety. So I'll tell you right now, and I'll say it before I do the next one. Spoiler alert! I'm watching it, you know, in its entire thing. I'm gonna review it in its entire thing. So I'll probably take the next 2 weeks off, or at least the following week off, just because, like, well, yeah. So you know ahead of time. Don't hit me up like, why'd you spoil? We hadn't even seen the second half. I'm telling you right now, I'm watching. So if you want to, just don't watch my review next week, and then wait for a week afterwards, and then you can watch it all together. And I urge you guys, everybody is complaining so much about What Culture Extra, and don't get me wrong, like, I ain't gonna lie, I was watching some other of the content on there last night, and for whatever reason, I tried to watch the 10 things the WWE wants you to forget about, like Hogan or something like that. Which I think they've already did on YouTube anyways, but they had it on their extra channel. And dude, I couldn't watch it. Like, it just kept buffering so much. And I could watch other stuff. I watched, you know, several other things. They had their countdowns and whatnot on there. And I watched everything else on there, no problem. And then I got to that video and we're just like, nope, you're not watching this. At least not in the time it says. You know, it was like a 7-minute video. It's like, no, you're gonna watch this thing in a half hour because buffering, because of Lucha things. Anyway, so yeah, it was, you know, it is what it is. But I urge you guys to get it, because, like, literally watch it. You know, who wants to watch like a pay-per-view in 2 halves? That's ridiculous. Or no, it's not pay-per-view, but you know, it's a big event. Who wants to watch a big event in 2 halves? Not at all. And then of course, Delete WCPW is going to be their next pay-per-view, which comes out, I believe, in December. So yeah, some big things coming up. So I urge you guys. It's $7. It's $7. I'm poor white trash, like, seriously, and I can afford it. So I know you guys can. So yeah, check it out. So, all right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, guys, as always, share and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. You don't want them, right there. Show this video that thumb and love. Go follow me on Twitter, WCPW Review Guy 1. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. Once again, thank you for watching, and until next time.